morning, everyone. This is Life Issue. This is Blessing. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. And if you've not subscribed to our channel, please help us hit the red button so that you can get the news once we upload it. Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about the steps that you need to follow if you want to travel to Nigeria this lockdown period. Now, we all know that most countries, they have been placed on lockdown and most people cannot travel. So I already have a lot of information to give you. I have steps that you need to follow and what you need to do if you want to travel. I'm going to be basing my research from UK because I'm based in UK. So I'm going to be giving you the steps that you need to follow if you live in the UK and you need to travel. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the UK government's written about your traveling. So the UK government do not believe that you should travel unless for these reasons. So you cannot just say, I want to travel because I want to go on holiday. Up until this month, we have been placed on tourism lockdown. We can't go anywhere. We cannot travel because we want to travel and go to Spain or go on holiday. You're not allowed to. So these are the reasons, or the only viable reason that you can travel. So I'm going to just run through them so that you know. One of the acceptable reasons that the UK government is giving you for you to travel is for work. So you can't travel if you are going to work. Now, they actually listed the type of work that you should be doing. So you cannot just say, oh, I'm going to work. No, they did list the type of work you need to be doing for you to be eligible to travel based on this criteria. Now, another reason they gave was for education. So maybe you are traveling because you want to come into the UK or go somewhere because you are in your university and you want to continue your education. Now, I'm aware that some schools, actually, they are only doing online learning. So if your school is doing online learning, you are not permitted to come in. So some of you that have already, you have gotten admission and your school for now, they are only basing their learning online. You cannot be allowed to come in. That's not a reasonable reason for you to come in. It has to be a reasonable excuse for travel abroad. So you must have a reasonable excuse to travel abroad. Now, another reason that they've given for you to travel is if you're going for funeral or if you're going for wedding or civil partnerships. If you are traveling because you want to get married or you have a death in your family and you want to travel for you to attend that funeral. Now, they're not really very specific. There has to be your immediate family or it has to be someone so close to you. They just said funeral. So people are using this loophole to travel, maybe for aunties, the people that are not really that close to them. Nigerians are using that loophole because we're not very specific whose death you can travel for. So most Nigerians are using for funeral to travel because the other reasons they can't use it, they're not viable. I don't think it's okay for people to just travel because they want to travel and then they lie that someone died. It's not nice, not at this time when people are passing through a lot and we're passing through deaths. People have seen people dying because of COVID, and then for you to lie because you just want to go to Nigeria, I don't think it's right. But yeah, that's what Nigerians are doing. So let's start with the steps, okay? Now you know reasons, the only reason that you are allowed to travel. Now, UK government is giving us guideline. They call it guideline. And this guideline was given by the NHS, okay? So for you to travel, you must show a proof of negative COVID-19 test taken no more than 72 hours before your departure, because that is what they're saying before you leave the country. Most countries, even Nigeria, even Ghana, most African countries, and even Asian or any country, even European country, they require you to show them this test that you have taken. in the UK. Now we'll talk about this later because there's so many things involved in this. Now let's talk about Nigerian passport. We are all aware that most Nigerians, their passports have expired during this 1 year. Mine expired, my husband's own expired. Most of my friends have sent me a DM for me to do this video. Their passports have expired and they are wondering, how can you travel? How can I travel? Well, this is why I'm doing this video. So the Nigerian government, because we were actually confused, how can we travel? What do we need to do? So we came across this, let me just show you, this thing called Emergency Travel Certificate. Now, there's a particular one for the UK, and this is the only way you can travel. There's another way you can travel, but this is basically the one that most people are using. And this emergency certificate allows you to travel to Nigeria if your passport expired and you're traveling for emergency. So, well, the only emergency that we have now is funeral. That's the only reason why you should travel anyway. Bury somebody, or somebody is going for medical reason, but we don't travel to Nigeria for medical reason. They come here for medical reason, so that excuse does not apply to us. But so most Nigerians are using this ETC for medical reason. Now, how do you apply for this? Most people that came to my DM, you're asking me, how do you apply? Really, you just turn up. Just go to any Nigerian embassy and turn up and tell them that you came for ETC. It doesn't take long for them to give it to you. From our own experience, it wasn't even up to 30 minutes we got it. So just turn up, make sure that you are there before 1 o'clock. That's one of the rules that we got to know. So you have to be there in any Nigerian embassy, anywhere you live, and you just get it. Now, we are aware that some Nigerians, you don't have your evidence that you are Nigerians. Maybe you have, done a woo, you've changed your status, or you came here to asylum and you threw your passport away or something, but you want to travel. Well, there's another way for you to do it. What they've said is that you can get someone back home who is related to you, who you are linked to actually give you their own passport copy with their name. So their own passports, the copy with their own name that links to your own surname. And they can use that to help you get your ETC for you to travel. Now, something about this ETC is that it is only for 30 days. Now, what I'm going to show you is Nigerian government actually declaring that, this is Nigerian government saying that ETC allows you to travel. You are also allowed to come back, but you can only stay for 30 days. So this is from Nigerian website. I had to do my research. This is their official website, and this is also backed up by UK government website. So ETC allows you to stay in Nigeria for 30 days, and it also allows you to come back. Now, some people, when you get this ETC, please make a copy of the ETC, because when you travel on arrival, you're going to be separated. Those with passports will be taken to one side. Those with ETC will be taken to one side. Yeah, you're Nigerians, but that's what happens in our country. Now, they will take the original copy of the ETC from you, because that's your only evidence of, like a passport, but that's not all you have. So most Nigerians that have traveled without making a copy of this ETC, when you are coming back, even though you have your British passport or your German passport or your Spanish passport, you will face a lot of problem, because the immigration officer will want to know how you came into Nigeria and evidence that you are a Nigerian and that you had permission to come into Nigeria. So thinking that, oh, I'll go into Nigeria with ETC, hand it over to them, then when I'm coming back after I have my German passport, I can come back. No, you need to prove to the immigration officer how you actually came in. And if they've taken your original ETC from you, you're not going to be allowed to come back. So you're going to miss that flight. And the only way to come back is for you to go back to immigration officer or office and now start processing your passport, and then you can use the letter confirming that you start processing your passport to come back. That is the only way. And that takes you another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you don't want that. So my advice is, once you get your ETC, please make a copy. Have a copy in your bag. Leave a copy at home with someone who is in the UK or wherever you live in case anything happens. Maybe you lost your bag or something, they can just, email one back to you. And you must leave Nigeria within the 30 days that they've given you. Now, Nigerians, we travel home, things happen, we start changing our, our tickets, thinking that we'll get away with things. Now, if you intend to change your tickets and thinking that you get away with things, you must start processing your passport. Now, Nigerian passport is a little bit tricky to get because they have this paper, they say, I don't know what they call it, that if that passport paper is not available, you cannot get your passport. Now, I know that in Lagos, it's not available now. In Abuja, it's not available. In the UK, for the past 6 months, people have applied for their passport, they've not gotten it because the passport paper is not available. So, you don't know what's going to happen. So, what I'm going to say is, if you're going to travel, think about your travel time. You go for a funeral, try to make sure that everything you need to do is done within the 13 days and just come back with your ETC. Now, unless you are sure that the passport paper is available and that you can just get, because you can actually get the passport that same day if that paper is available in the immigration office. But if it's not, it takes a lot of time for you to actually get it. So that's how it is in Nigeria. Passports that should be available, paper is not available. I don't know where they're getting the paper from, whether from London or from Haven, I don't know. But that is what it is. All right, so you have your ETC, you've gotten your ETC, and you might think, okay, it's time for me to travel. No. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It gets longer, okay? So, now if you look, I'm going to show you that if you look at the guideline, you are asked to fill reason for travel form. Now, this form must be filled. Declaration for travel, yeah, it's called it's called declaration for travel. Now, the UK government wants to know why you are traveling, and this is done electronically. You have to go to UK Gov website to fill this, and you must have a copy. So you send it to them, they will get it. You also have to have a copy for you to use at the airport. Now, if you don't have this, sorry guys, you won't travel. So make sure that when you've done this, that you print it out. Okay, so you've done this, but that's not all, okay? You now need to proceed to the COVID test. Now, but it's not that easy coming back home. It's not that easy traveling. We have been on lockdown. We have been restricted from traveling because of these measures, because we want to stop the spread of the virus. So I know in Nigeria you guys can travel freely, but back home, the UK, we can't even go to Wales for some time now. It's just only about to be lifted on Monday. That's on the 12th of April. So it's been very hard. So for you to travel out of the country, you need to first of all do your pre-travel test. Now, this cost £99. That was how much we have paid for us to get our pre-COVID-19 test. Now, what I would advise you is, please let your travel agent or your airline send you list of the ones that they use. Now, if you go to UK Gov website, they have a lot of them. Now, you don't know which ones, because we'll try calling some are no more, some and where they are is very far from where we live. So book your flight. Another thing is that the cost of the flight is not duro. It's not just hey, come back. Flight is not the same price anymore. And then when you're now finishing, you need to do a COVID test, the pre-travel COVID test. Remember, the pre-travel. Now, this must be done in the UK. Without this, they will not allow you to fly. You must do this. You must present it at the airport. Now, when you get there, they will do it. Now, some people keep asking me, how long does it take for this to come out? Now, it's not long. It's just like 30 hours, like a day and a half, then it comes out. So, but you're advised to make sure that it's done within 72 hours of your landing in Nigeria. So if you do it and it's not within 72 hours, you will be sent back. I'm telling you. So make sure that if you're traveling on a Friday, that this is done on a Wednesday, you will still get your results out. All right. So make sure that it's like within 3 days that you're traveling and you've done it. Don't do 4 days. Remember, think about your flight time and the delays. If you're using KLM, you have to stop over. Think about all those things before you travel, and make sure that it is within the 72 hours. 72 hours. Not more than 72 hours. They are very strict on it. And don't come and start saying sorry to Nigerian immigration and start paying £250 and 1,000 when you could have done the right thing. Now, you've done your immigration, remember your pre-travel immigration. The rule requires that when you land, you also need to do a 7 days after test, okay? But before you even start doing that, what is this 7 days, pre-test? Now, you have to go to a portal. Now, this portal is the NCDC portal. You have to, before you even start boarding your flight, you need to complete this portal. It's Nigerian International Travel Portal. You need to put your detail, where you're staying, your address of the contact person that you have in Nigeria. It is so detailed that even me, I'm afraid, because anybody that have access to this can trace where you're going to be staying, can trace the person you're going to be with, can trace where your location is. So I don't know how safe, knowing the Nigerian situation and Nigerian environment, how safe this is, but this is what they require for us to complete. So yeah, you need to complete this. Now, you have to update your record, your passport number, you have to talk about your information, everything is detailed. You need to have all this. And then you must pay. There is a payment portal there. You can use your overseas cards to pay, your Visa cards to pay. And once you've paid for this, automatically it gives you a place for you to go for your 7 days landing COVID test, which must be done 7 days after isolation. You have to be in the house. Well, that's what they're saying. You have to be in the house for 7 days, and then on the 7th day you can now go for this test. Yeah, that's what the Nigerian governments are saying. Now, once you've done this, once you've paid for it, it gives you like this bit. It gives you a permit to travel certificate. Now, without this permit to travel certificate, you cannot travel. So please, remember, all this process must be followed. It is tedious. It is like, for me personally, because I do our travel routine in my home, it was really difficult time to read it, get to know what needs to be done, make sure that those things are done. So you need to actually, that's why I'm doing this video, to help you so that you can tick it when you've done it. So you need to print this permit to travel. You must have it with you, and then you are ready to travel. So remember the things you need to print. You must have your pre-travel COVID test. You must have your declaration for travel while you're traveling. You must have your Nigerian International Travel permit to travel. So you must have your permit to travel from Nigerian immigration before you travel, and then you must have your ETC if you don't have your passport. If you have your passport, you don't need ETC. But for most people who are Nigerians who live in the Western world, whose passport is expired, you need to get your ETC. That is the only way. Or you can get an invitation letter, and you get, I know I was talking about that's not just the only way. You can get someone to invite you, but that's basically for Nigerians who are not really registered as Nigerians. You have to get somebody from Nigeria to invite you, as if you're coming in for a funeral and they're inviting you for it, and then you get your visa on arrival. That is a different ball game. That's another route. We didn't follow that, so I'm not going to talk about that. So now you have gotten to Nigeria. You've done your COVID test. Remember, please don't start gallivanting, don't start partying. Somebody might actually go after you. So please be on the down low. Make sure that you are abiding by the law, that you are waiting for that 7 days to pass before you start doing anything. I have some friends who's been snitched on by their neighbors, and that's how you get people getting into the quarantine center, and it is not a good experience. And also, if you don't do this, you might get your passports taken away by Nigerian government, and you have to be in Nigeria for 6 months. We don't want that. So just abide by the COVID rule. Now you've done this, you're ready, and you've had so much fun in Nigeria. you have visited your friend. Remember, you are there for funeral. Make sure that you are not taking a lot of pictures and posting it on Facebook, social media. You are not there for holiday. You are there for a funeral. Now, remember that you have your details already with immigration office. They have your email and everything. They can do a spot check on you. So be very careful. Okay, you're not there for jamboree. Make sure that you are going for a reason stated by your declaration form and that you are being sober about it. So you've done this and you want to come back. Remember, 30 days shouldn't be up before you start coming back home. Before you start coming back home, this is for people living in the UK, you must first of all complete your locator form. Now, this is a form that the UK government said you must complete because they need to know where you are going to be quarantined when you come in. So it's not just about traveling. When you come back into Nigeria, so when you come back from Nigeria, you need to quarantine. That's in the UK for 10 days. For 10 days. Now, you need to fill this form, which is called the passenger locator form. Then you need to go back and book for another test, which I think is called the England arrival testing package. Now, this one costs £198. Oh, yes. You must pre-book this before you even enter your flight to come back to England because they need to know that you've pre-booked this. Now, this is something that everybody, whether you live in the UK, whether you're just here on a visit or work visit for the reason why, the permitted reason, complete this test, which is to do. You have a 2 days testing and you have an 8 days testing, which needs to be done. Now, if you really don't want to stay for the 10 days, you want to cut it short and by the 5th day you are out, you have the LMT. I think it's called the LMT test. Now, let me just get it because I need to give you guys the real information. Yes, the RT, so test to release. So it helps you be released earlier than the 10 days. So, but the money is £99. So you have paid the first £99 traveling. You pay another £198 for the England arrival test. And then if you want to leave your work, leave the quarantine early, you now need to pay another £99 for you to leave on the 5th day. Now, this is what it is. This is what you need to know about traveling, about leaving the UK during this COVID time. And remember, it is not just only that. You need to still buy stuff for Nigerians back home. They don't even want to hear that we have been on quarantine for 1 year. They don't even want to know. They will still send lists. They will still tell you what they want you to buy for them. And it's just a pity that in the society that we are living in, most of us have been on quarantine for some time now. Some people have not been to work. Some people have been to work, but maybe their other partner, they've not been working and they've been the one supporting. But they don't want to know. They still demand that you get something for them when you are coming. They will not demand, yeah, but that's how they expect something from you when you are coming. So think about all that. So, I mean, for most people, when they look at the cost of traveling to Africa now or traveling anywhere, I mean, they just don't go for any funeral because, to be frank with you, it costs so much and it takes so much. You have to quarantine 10 days without work. And some employers will say they won't pay. So you just decide to stay at home, or if it's not your very close family, but if it's your close family, you need to travel. But you just wish that people will understand the sacrifices and the step it took you to travel. They don't get it. They don't even care. They don't even appreciate what people go through or what people are going through. They just think it is normal life as usual, that we are just giving excuses. That is why I'm making this video so that people understand what is going on and people understand what it takes to travel now, okay, and stop all this backbiting and backstabbing and talking behind people's back. You know what? You guys are not seeing COVID like we are. You guys are under the sun. I don't know if the weather makes it not spread faster in Africa. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But you guys don't know what we are passing through. So It's okay for you guys to be making too much noise and talking about us and feeling as if we don't want to come or we are not interested in Africa. Of course, if we have the opportunity, of course we will come. And it's so annoying that people are not actually getting this information because they are there on the website, they are there on the site. You can get this information from anywhere. We have to be the one to keep explaining, explaining. Anyway, this is me giving you the information that you wanted. I hope you now understood what needs to be done before you travel to Africa. Please, please, please don't let them drag you or push you into doing the wrong thing and then you get into Nigeria and you get stuck. Make sure that you follow all these steps. If not, wait until the COVID travel ban is lifted. Based on what the Prime Minister said, we might have this lifted before June or by June, we don't know. But it might not, we don't know. But if it's better for you if you are not traveling, why do you need to lie? Why do you need to put your family into all this stress? Because you just want to go to Africa. I don't know. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and then you drop your comments. Thank you. Bye.